Welcome, Pokemon players, to another episode of Discount Pokemon Decks. Today we're doing something a little more fun. It's a Typhlosion deck, and I haven't published one yet just because I didn't really see anything too interesting about it, but I think I found something interesting here, some cool synergy. So I'll go over it today. Typhlosion, as you are well aware, is a high variance deck. I mean, this deck is just all or nothing. You're either going to luck out and win or you're not, and that's just the way it is. So if you want a 50-50 coin flip or you feel like today is your lucky day, then Typhlosion's the deck for you. Otherwise, it's good. I guess it's a good deck for grinding because either you're going to win or lose very quickly. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of strategy involved. There's not a whole lot of anything involved. You're just lucky if you win, and that's it. So of course, the focal point of this deck is Massive Eruption. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack does 80 damage times the number of energy cards you discarded. So for that, I have 14 energy cards and the ability to recycle energy in with Energy Recycler, which puts 5 energy back into your deck. Super Rod, which puts 3 and or Pokemon, and Brock's Grit. Now, I'm sure you've played against or played with a Typhlosion deck before, and you know basically a lot of your cards are just going to go into the discard anyway. It's all or nothing. But these cards here are trying to early on you may be putting cards that you need into the discard, but later on, hopefully the idea is once you have fewer cards in the deck, so let's say you have 20 cards left, you use Energy Recycler, you put 5 cards back in your deck, so at least 5 of 25 of those cards are energy. Most likely even more than that. So as you go along, your odds improve as it takes out the cards that you would normally need in a deck and leaves the energy. And this deck's quite the opposite. V-Seeker will help you put Brock. You could put 6 energy back in. So basically it's a very simple deck. There's not much to it. My small addition to this deck is Oricorio, and this deck allows you for a fast startup. So one of the things that you'll see in Typhlosion decks is some way to accelerate the cards you need, and usually that's done with Talonflame. Oricorio does kind of the same thing. It helps you get a bunch of your Cyndaquils out of your deck onto your bench, which helps you get the rest of the cards you need. Is it better than Talonflame? Probably not, but it's the same thing. You're really only going to get this half the time as you're starting Pokemon. Most of the times it'll be Cyndaquil, so you have a little better chance. I had a game just recently where I ended up with the Cyndaquil. I got an Oricorio on my bench. Cyndaquil got knocked out. Oricorio put 3 down. Actually, it went for 2 turns, so I got another Oricorio and the other Cyndaquil after I Super Rodded it back into my deck, and things went a little more smoothly there. But that is not the main addition I have for this deck. The main addition, can you spot it? Is this card right here. Mallow. So here's an interesting thing. Here's some cool synergy. Mallow takes 2 cards. You pick any 2 cards from your deck, and you put those cards on top in any order. And you can use Mallow a number of ways. And it's funny because Typhlosion is normally just a brain-dead deck. You just play, and whatever happens, happens. It's great. But you have to think a little bit with Mallow, and I'll explain why. So 2 cards on the top of your deck, you're thinking first thing right away, Scorched Earth. If you have a Scorched Earth in play and an energy in your hand, you can play Mallow, get those 2 cards in your hand. So if you need a rare candy and a Typhlosion, play Mallow, get those 2 on the top of your deck, discard the energy with Scorched Earth, and bingo bango, you've got your rare candy, you've got your Typhlosion, you're ready to go. But there's another cool usage of it. And the cool usage is you can use Mallow when you already have Typhlosion on the top of your deck. And you can use her to put 2 energy cards in the top of the deck, so you're at least doing 160 damage. So there you go. There's my main contribution to Typhlosion. Use Mallow to guarantee 2 energy on the top of your deck so that you're getting 160, and then it's really only 3 cards. So again, you can kind of play around with the odds. It's impossible to do odds with Typhlosion because it's so fluid. You may have 5 energy in your deck and 30 cards, you may have 10 and 20. It's just, you could do it as you go along. I'm sure if you just had like a little Excel sheet and you calculated how much energy is in there versus blah, 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 and figure out what your exact odds are for each attack. But you know what? Do you really care? It's Typhlosion. It's fun. And that's basically it. So there's a couple different ways to use Mallow. Of course, you can use her without the energy and without the attack, just to put a card at the top, 2 cards at the top of the deck that you're going to need. So if it's very early in the game and you only have your Cyndaquil out, you can try a Rare Candy in Typhlosion, or you can try putting an N at top. So there's a bunch of different ways to use it. This is my version. It's a lot of fun. It wins half the time, which is what you expect from Typhlosion. Either blows the other person away or it does not. And that's basically it. So let's get to a game right after a short break. Yeah, I won the coin flip. And I am going to go first. Sometimes I don't if I think I'm going to get Oricorio. I don't know. Again, does it really matter with this deck? All right, so I have some energy. I've got an Ultra Ball. Let's get these birds down. Actually, I probably should have saved one and used the Ultra Ball on it to get a basic down, but that's okay. I'm going to try to Scorched Earth my way out of this bad hand. And this is what you get. You know, I could probably put in a more serious hand in this deck, 4 trainer mails. Maybe I should. But again, this is, I don't really think about this too much. So I'm going to get a bunch of cards here. That is great. If nothing else, it'll help with my Ultra Ball, Scorched Earth. Hopefully get some Pokemon. That would be great. Rare Candy and a Stage 2 would be even better. No, look at that. Alright, so not too bad. I can use Oricorio's. Well, let's use this first, since I have it. And I'm probably going to get N, so I really shouldn't rely on this hand too much. Oof, this is awful. Alright, so we're going to use what? Brock's Grit can go, because I can use that later. And 1 energy. And let's get... ooh, you know what? I'm going to... Oh, I messed this up slightly. I'm going to put Cyndaquil. I should have waited on that. I should have totally waited on that. There's no point in putting energy down. Well, if that doesn't tell you the power of Cyndaquil for grinding, I don't know what does. As soon as I put the Typhlosion deck, excuse me, as soon as I put that Cyndaquil down, it was resign time. So that's just how it goes sometimes. These are going to be normally quick games. I'd like you to see a little bit more of an actual win. It looks like my opponent's totally gearing up here. So again, not a great hand. You do not get a lot of great hands here, but well, Drampador, Houndoom, Energy Denial. This Oricorio could be a problem here, because if he's using Slowking to get rid of my energy, someone's ready to fight right away. He will not knock out my Oricorio on turn 1, but I'm definitely facing a mill deck. This is tough because I'm going to be throwing away cards anyway, so it's going to be tough both ways, I think. I have to try to get my setup done, and that's the whole problem with this deck, is getting the setup. It's getting the setup and having like 20 energy in your deck. So I opted to 14. That's the number I'm going with. All right, so here's our combo. So what do I want? I can use Oricorio to get the little guys on my bench. I want 1, 2 in my hand. Now hopefully I don't get delinquented. So let's get these 2 in my hand. My opponent sees the synergy there. Thank you. There's no thank you, is there? I can't say thank you. I can just smile. So it's pretty cool. You could see that synergy right away, that to get those 2 cards in your hand. I feel like it's a little bit of an underused card, depending on the deck. Well, if he wants the Slowking from Oricorio to another Pokemon, that's just fine right now. Actually, I would prefer that to... Alright, what do we got here? Drawing 10 cards, right? That's a lot of cards. All right, so I can retreat with this guy. I was hoping he would get knocked off, but I have a feeling that's not in the cards. But let's hope that we can start doing damage right away. It's not a huge deal. I'm not going to use the stadium yet, I think, because this guy might start knocking my energy off. So let's try it this way. Oh, just one. So interesting, a Drampa mill deck. And of course he'll put it all in the Oricorio, which is not such a bad thing because then I can use that to get rid of my opponent's energy. So this is going to be a very weird game. Uh-oh. That is trouble right there. And I don't know why he would play that because Drampa is just going to knock out Typhlosion. And I've got to decide what I'm going to do next. Am I going to play a stadium and an energy, or am I going to put an energy on? I mean, he's probably got more energy in his hand. And I'm in a little bit of trouble here. That's a very powerful combo these days, and you're seeing this a lot more. This Drampa. Ooh! Why did he not knock me out? That would have been 150. Oh, I don't understand that. That's unfortunate, but not insurmountable. I could use my Energy Recycler now. Let's see if he gets an energy here. No. Was that 2 Brock's crits? Huh. Alright, I cannot play the Oricorio. I have to play the energy on the Typhlosion. You know what? Let's use it now. I don't care. Let's get 3 energy back, so slightly better odds. There's no reason getting rid of the stadium yet. Let's hold our stadium in our hand for now. So let's see what happens here. Can we knock him out? 1, 2. Yes! And the rainbow energy worked in our favor there. Not a great hand, man. Oh, I'm just getting... This is not going well. Will he slow king that energy off? I guess my opponent did not realize he could knock me out. Oh, he still can't now. Oh, so he's going to try to slow king that energy off. Again, if it goes to the Oricorio, I don't mind. Actually, I don't mind whoever it goes to, although it would be nice to get an energy in my hand. I do have a lot of them in my deck. See, 2, I have 14, 4, so there's 10 in 32 cards. So about 1 every 3 cards. So if I can get some kind of draw in my hand, this would be very beneficial. Oh, man. Give it to Oricorio. Yeah, alright. I'll take that. You knock out Typhlosion, Oricorio is going to start knocking out your energy, so... And if I get a Super Rod, I can put Pokemon back on my bench, too. Yeah, so you see how volatile this deck is. It's basically like no hand. Oricorio adds a little bit. I mean, you could probably take those 4 out and put 4 trainer mails in and be just fine. Good use. That's a good... my opponent has some good combos here. I'm not sure about the overall structure of the deck, but obviously Drampa and Rainbow Energy is one. But then using Hala... Yes! Alright. Now, do I want to draw? No. Let's just fight. They fight. And fight. And fight and fight and fight. I'm keeping these cards in my hand in case he comes up with the Delinquent. Ugh! Just short here. All my good cards are going in there. Oh, again! Oh, you know what? My opponent couldn't do that attack, the Berserk attack, before because he did not have 3 energy on it. So, my apologies. The funny thing is, maybe it'd be a better idea to throw them all on one Cyndaquil at this point. Alright, so now I'm going to start knocking out his energy. And waiting till I get... If I get an energy now I'm going to play Scorched Earth. Okay. We need to get something in my hand here. So 19 cards. I'm getting thin here. Alright! Let's do this. Now we're gonna play something that gets cards in my hand. Do I want to just play an N and get 4 cards in my hand? Do I want to play Mallow? I think I need an N more. I need some diversity here. I guess I could have done it. Well, I didn't have the V-Seeker in my hand before. Alright, Rescue Stretcher. Great. And I think I'm just going to put a Typhlosion straight in my hand. So, we are going to knock out this guy. Look at that. I don't want to discard an energy. Do I have to? It's forced on me? Discard an energy from this Pokemon. If you do, yeah, I didn't want to discard an energy. Necessarily. Beautiful. Look at that. Rare candy. And what I'll do is I'll evolve this Cyndaquil and retreat. Now I'm running out of cards here. I maybe need to Mallow some putting cards back in my deck. Oh no. No, that's not bad. That's actually almost what I'd want here. Although my opponent's getting dangerously close to milling me out. But Oricorio hopefully to the rescue here. Beautiful. Look at this. Alright. First let's evolve this Pokemon. Next, let's put 5 energy back in our deck. I'm sure there's more than 5 here. I always check. There's 7. Perfect. Now I think I want to... There's 5. I can Mallow 2 cards into my hand. Mallow on top. 2 cards in my hand. Yeah. And I'm going to do that. So what I want is, I need 1 energy, because I'm going to need an energy to do this. Ooh, I don't have anything to put any cards back in my deck. Not at all, not even a V-Seeker, so we'll go with the Stretcher here. Yikes. I'm really low here, but there we go. And we're going to Rescue Stretcher. 1 more. Put a Pokemon from my discard into my hand. So here we go. This should be hopefully it. There's 13 cards. I think there's 7 energy there. I should have more than half. I should be able to knock this guy out. Do I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there we go. Victory. Typhlosion does it, so I don't really want to belabor the point with this deck. I mean, it's either going to win spectacularly or fail spectacularly, and that's basically it. I think Mallow is a good addition for this deck for a number of reasons. I think in that last game, we definitely saw it in the way that you can draw cards, and I did that twice. We did not see it where you use it to put 2 energy on the top of the deck, so Typhlosion's attack becomes at least 160 damage. But I think you get a good idea of this deck. You can totally play around with it. Oricorio seemed to save us that last game, but maybe if we had Trainer's Mails instead, it might have worked out. So that's definitely an addition you may want to think about. And that's it. This is basically the deck. So I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you'll know when our next video is released. Also, check out our playlists where you can find videos by topics like mill decks or cheap EX decks.